Hi there, this is Mia coming to you live from the big island of Hawaii, and I wanted to share some thoughts with you today about the term centering and grounding, because I know I use them a lot, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there going, what does it really mean to center yourself? You know, it's a phrase you see in a lot of well-being stuff, but what does it actually mean? And it's so important to actually know what it means so that you can do it, because this is a really such an important tool in these very unsettling times. So what I mean by that is finding stillness. I'm going through the motions first to explain. Finding stillness. It's very challenging to center and ground yourself, of course, with little beings, running around, everyone, all the kids that are home right now, or in a mall, for example, someplace like that, although it can be done. But to start out, let's start out maybe in a very quiet place in nature. Sit down, get comfortable, and then just breathe. It's really what it comes down to is breath work. Is really paying attention to our breath. We've gotten used to doing this type of breath, this very shallow, fearful breath, and especially in these unsettling times, finding ourselves in this overload of information. And I'd caution you against that. It's just overload of just information, really saying, I'm not saying we don't need to inform ourselves, but there is a point of overkill. And where you're doing actual harm to your energy field. So we want to really be cautious with what we're taking in, what source of information we're taking in. Getting back to centering. So find yourself a really still, sacred space, a space that you can call your own. Go out into your garden if you're fortunate to have a patch of grass behind your house. And connect with something that's out there, a tree, a shrub, a space, just a little patch on that ground that says, you're welcome here, and sit down and be a part of that space, of that healing energy that's calling you to it. So once you have found your spot, then you're going to let go. And that's a good way to start, just letting go, sinking into this space, getting out of our head, sinking into your heart space, and breathing deeply and fully and consciously. We've gotten used to this, this fearful, shallow breath, which does our energy field, our body, our minds, doesn't no good. So we want to get back to this focused, focused, deep breathing, taking in this conscious breath and holding it and then releasing, and doing that 3 times, 5 times, a couple minutes. And that's bringing your energy field down. It's bringing your brain patterns down into a calm state, and allowing you to breathe fully and really engage and connect with what's around you. So when I say centering, it means letting go of the world, getting out of your head, and centering, focusing into your heart space, your own wisdom, just clearing your mind. You can't be centered and then grounded when you've got the news on in the background. You can do it with kids running around because you can shut that out for a little bit. You can technically do it with the news on, but you don't want to do that because you don't want to have that energy invading your space in that time. Best to be out in a place in nature and where it's naturally silent, except for lovely birds and other animals, that can bring you healing energy. So really, really important to be centered. Centered means not distracted by anything. Not distracted by noise, not distracted by other energies. Being in your own private space, but not your head, in your heart space. And grounded is an easier concept. It's easier to visualize because, of course, here I am now just sitting on Mother Earth, sitting on the ground. You can visualize roots coming out of your feet, something as simple as that, but really get into the visualization. That's where it's at, because that is energy. And you're actually creating that energy coming out of your physical body, because of course we are energy, and you're drawing it into Mother Earth, going deep, deep, deep into the core, and visualize that molten core, and visualize yourself attaching to the center and feeling the difference within your energy field. These are very, very simple techniques, but they need to be practiced. They need to be utilized, and you need to put your whole heart and soul into them. And a lot of people that talk, but their energy is not behind it. And so when you have this visualization, again, of roots going into Mother Earth, I had a friend who used to visualize, she was an astronaut and she had that heavy boots and would ground her to Mother Earth. So whatever works for you, it can be anything. I used to visualize when I couldn't ground easily a bowling ball coming from the heavens, and I would catch it and I could physically feel my energy field dropping to the earth. So some examples for you, whatever works for you and whatever allows you to feel connected to the earth. Because what's happening now is we're so in our heads, we're so in this fear state, we're so in this panic, this void energy, that we tend to just be in our heads and be out there. And we don't want to be out there all the time. We want to be grounded. We want to be connected to here and to what's going around us. So I hope you found that helpful. And I hope now you're going to shut the video and go out and try it. All right. Even if you're an expert in all of this, let's do all of this together. Really ground our energies and sail through this full moon. Which is not helping anything right now. It's really pushing buttons and doing what the full moon does, which is releasing and creating this disruptive factor right now. So let's all breathe together. All right. So my blessings to you, from my heart to yours. We are all one. Blessings.